Welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to break down a case study of how we're doing $170,000 per week. Very interesting client, one of my favorite clients, to be honest, when it comes to scaling. It's really fun because I love the industry and I love what they're doing. And so I'm going to bring you through frameworks of how we're going to build and grow this company from a 7-figure run rate company to an 8-figure run rate company. And when it comes to going from 7 and hopping to that extra level to 8 figures, there's a lot of components that need to be considered. You can't just do it with one product, right? One market, one product, maybe sure one market, but you definitely cannot do it with one product and one strategy and one angle, right? You have to expand your strategies, you have to expand your acquisitions and your efforts to get to that level consistently. What I'm talking about here is consistent 8-figure run rate, okay? So let's go through this entire process. I have a diagram to show you as usual, and hopefully you learn a couple things in today's video, okay? Let's get into it. Great, so as usual, let's go through the proof. This is the last 7 days, okay? And as you can see, they did $170,000 in sales, okay? And 172,000 in gross sales. So, pretty stable there. And let me just refresh, or actually, let me just show you. Great, so as usual, before we get into the video and I show you a couple things in my usual diagrams, let me actually just show you the proof here. This last 7 days, $171,000 in sales, after discounts, after everything. And, they have a very, their business economics are very, very healthy. I cannot show you everything here, but they do have over $117 in AOV. And with a 2.85 conversion rate. Now this conversion rate was off season was more like 2.3%, and the AOV was maybe more closer to like $110, $112, but still very, very healthy numbers, and it allows you to understand what you need for scale. People think that you can just scale with a $50 AOV and a 1 or 2% conversion rate. That is not the case. Like, you need strong economics. A proportion that I always keep in mind that I want my clients to achieve at least is, if you multiply the conversion rate and the average order value, it needs to equal around $200. If it's 180, 190, 200, it's good. If you have more, we have some clients that are scaling quite aggressively, like this one. It's typically the proportion is over $200. As you can see here, this is a pretty new business. They only have 2.5% customers, the customer return rate. The returning customer rate. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about a bunch of strategies on how to actually build a sustainable 8-figure run rate business, because we can get to these figures maybe in 2, 3, 4 months. But what if we want to, of course, the goal is to keep that consistency throughout the year. And unfortunately, you cannot do it with one product. You need multiple strategies. And this is what I'm going to talk about in this video. Now, the surprising thing about this client is that during Black Friday, I think they did, I think $20,000. Yeah, $20,000 in sales. And so the interesting part is that even after Black Friday, even if we could have pushed it maybe a bit more, we could have maybe got to 22, 23, 24, maybe 25,000. The interesting part is that as we went more in time, if you can see the graph, if I go from the 29th to basically yesterday, the graph only went up. So we went from 20, and then after Black Friday, we reached, I think, 29,000, almost 30,000, and then yesterday was, I think, was around $25,000 in sales. So this was kind of like the, the trend. So it was, this is a super cool indication that, even if we're not off season completely, and this, by the way, is not even a gifting product. It's like literally a product that sure you can buy for your friend, but it's not like one of those, Christmas products that you only sell during Christmas, and you go for, you scale to $3 million a month in Christmas, and then the day after there's basically no sales. It's not that type of product, which makes me very bullish about this industry and this, the brand in general. So either way, this is the proof. Let's actually go through our diagrams, because I have a lot to share right over here. Boom. So let's talk about how we will get this brand from a 7-figure run rate business to an 8-figure run rate. And, this is typically what we have done in the past, okay? As you see, here is, the brand that I just talked about, that I just showed you. So there's several things that we need to understand. And as a statement, as a beginning statement, introductory statement, call it whatever you want, I want you to understand this principle. The brands that win are the brands that are able to spend the most to acquire a customer and are still insanely profitable. If we analyze and study companies, like for example, let me just do like a super off-topic example, like a SaaS company, right? Where the LTV is, it applies for any company, by the way, but like, let me actually just do an e-commerce example, right? So let's just do Gymshark. I can guarantee you, and I know for a fact, that Gymshark is 1000% able to spend more to acquire a customer compared to a brand that is doing seven figures, even like low 8 figures, okay, honestly. And the reason being is because they have a very strong foundation with their LTV. They know that whenever they bring somebody on board, within the next 3, 6, and 12 months, they will spend 3, 4, 5 times the AOV that they originally spent in the first purchase, right? So, these are things to consider when we want to scale. Now, the other thing to calculate is when you want to scale aggressively, is like, how much cash in bank do I have to sustain? Can I sustain an LTV for 3 months, for 6 months, for 12 months compared to my ad spend? Or can I perhaps even lose money on the front end because I know I have enough cash flow, right, coming in so that I can afford to do that? So we need to understand, based on your cash flow, based on how much your LTV, but between 3, 6, and 12 months, how much we will then be able to afford to pay for a new customer. This is the reverse engineering that you need to do. Okay, but long story short, the brands that spend the most and are still profitable are the brands that win. How do we do this? What are the elements? I'm going to talk about multiple different things in this video, as you can see here, a bunch of different things. What are the things that we should focus on to make this happen and to give us a strong foundation, so that even if the advertising becomes more expensive, and by the way, that's the only guarantee that we have, the more we move on in time and the more expensive it is, how can we still make this profitable? So the first thing is that sell more upfront. This automatically is going to give you a bigger ROAS. So we've actually done a split test where the hypothesis was that let's just try to reinvent a bundle, and this was something that the client did even before working with us. So what they did is that they sold the first product, the initial main product, basically individually without any offer, and then they started doing bundles like this, where they basically created a full-on solution. And the principle behind this is that as you create a bundle, you can structure an offer, you can increase the perceived value, and you can solve a whole problem in a much more complete way. Because what if you're like a music artist and I give you whatever, the phone that has the features or the possibilities to install cool software, right? But what if I do this, and then within the phone you have the cool software, and then I also give you some headphones, and then I also you're basically filling up, hopefully that made sense as an example, but you're filling up and selling an entire solution. Once again, increases perceived value, increases AOV, typically increases conversion rate if you know how to structure it well. But at the end of the day, you need to test it for your own self. So this is a company that is doing quite well. They're doing multiple 8 figures. I think they're almost doing 9 figures. So it's a good example to model. And they're structuring offers like this and selling kind of like full-on solutions like BOGO, bundles, and etc., which is absolutely 1000% increasing their AOV and their conversion rate. This will allow you automatically to make more money. Okay, so this is principle number 1 and foundation number 1. So if you're already doing 7 figures, low 6 figures, 7 figures, even multiple 7 figures, and you're not utilizing this, meaning that you haven't cracked the code with a higher AOV offer, it will automatically be quite a bit more harder for you to scale and spend more and still be profitable. So this is something that I absolutely advise you to do. Number 1, and this is something that we're really doing right now with this business that I just spoke about, is introducing new products. Would you rather have business 1, where you have 50% of sales coming from one product, because automatically, like, it's always gonna be the case. Like, there's gonna be that one winner that's gonna bring in a lot of cash flow. So let's just say 40-50%, then another 30% from product 2, then another 25% from product 3. Essentially, you have a distributed income and cash flow machine distributed across multiple products. Would you have this, which is business number 1, or business number 2 that has basically 95% of cash flow is coming from one product, right? Super, super risky. And then you have, of course, maybe upsells or downsells on other products that people are buying, or you just cannot make them work on the front end for whatever reason. This is the distribution of your business. Would you rather have this business or this business? Better question, would you rather buy this business or this other business? This is the question that you should always ask yourself. Is the way that I'm building my company, is it a company that I would buy myself? Is it a company that a private equity firm would buy? Give it a purpose. Every single strategy and approach, resource, investment that you make should come up with that question. Is this going to increase the enterprise value of my company? Right? Because then we're just wasting time, right? So these are things that are really, really detrimental. So we're going to start introducing new products. We are going to start testing new products in December. Very, very excited about that because it's going to allow us to distribute our cash flow, distribute our risk. This is a really, really important fundamental. Now, if you just look at all those companies out there, that even the ones that don't sell like Apple, don't sell like 600 products. They have like those 10, 15, 20 products. Even if they only have 10, 15, 20 products, they always launch a new evolution or a new series or a new feature or something like that, which makes it a new product itself. iPhone 15, 16, 17, whatever. You get the point. So even if you don't want to completely innovate or sell a different product, sell the upgraded version, sell a better version. That's even like a good starting point for you to do, right? So this is what I advise you to do. Introduce new products. New products equals more revenue. New products almost every time. New products equal more revenue. Even if you just put those products in your store and you don't sell them up front because maybe it's not the priority for you right now, it's still gonna generate more revenue because you're gonna bring traffic in. People are gonna be interested on product one, and then they're gonna probably go and visit other products to buy. Next thing that we're really starting to do quite well for this brand is two things: optimizing the sales process and conversion rate optimization. Let me bring you through this funnel. So this is a funnel actually by Boom by Cindy Joseph, and I like them a lot. And what they're doing, and we're doing the same exact thing for this client, is we're sending people to an advertorial, and then from an advertorial, they're gonna go to a product page. And within the product page, we collect their email so that they go into an email sequence. And then we have pre and post-purchase upsells, and we're testing a bunch of different things, like a gift, like a $5 to $7 gift, that like order bump. If they want like a gift that is worth like $7, they can buy it. It's like a cool upsell that we had, and we noticed that was it gave a 25 to 30% take rate. So 1 in 4 people that went through checkout actually got the $7, right? We also did something with like shipping protection, which is true. It's not like a BS thing. If they click and enable shipping protection, which is like $3 or $4 or $5, I forgot what it was, they will get like insurance on or whatever, insurance on the protection, and potentially a refund if something happens with I think it's with orders that have an AOV of below $300 or something like that. And there's a 95% take rate on that, which increase profit by like 2 or 3% complexity. So these things actually matter, which brings me to my next point, which is conversion rate optimization. Always be split testing within pre-purchase, post-purchase. These things alone, if you don't have an optimized process, and let's just say you're doing $3 million, you don't really have an optimized process. If you have an optimized process and you start split testing pre-purchase and post-purchase flows, which is what this is over here, I would not be surprised, based on my experience, if you add an extra 10 to 15% of revenue. I would just not be surprised. So you're just leaving a bunch of money on the table there. And guess what? If you're able to instantly, just by optimizing your sales process, add an extra 10, 15% of revenue from each individual customer, that also means that you're able to spend more on the front end, which is what the principle that I was explaining over here. The businesses that win are the businesses that are able to spend more on the front end and still be profitable, whether that being for a new product, an optimized sales process, split tests, higher conversion, whatever that is, those are the businesses that win. And what they're doing here, and what we're also kind of like modeling, and what the client was also is also doing to get to this point, is adding like complementary products and offers that are post-purchase, so right after. So after they go through checkout, we present them 2 or 3 offers. Either way, they're going to see 2. So the first offer is an upsell. If they say no, they're going to see a downsell, something that costs a bit less. And if they say yes to the first upsell, we upsell them again. And these are, we want to aim for products that are at least the same price as the offer that they just bought, if not more, if it's an upsell. If it's a downsell, it's maybe cheaper. So if your front end offer is like $80, maybe a downsell is like $50, $60, $30, something along those lines. This is basically the process. This is thank you page. What they do at Boom by St. Joseph, they actually have extra discounts and a mini like VSL or a VS, not a VSL, but a thank you note from the founder or something like that. And then a summary of the order. So this is a very, it's not a complicated sales process. I think it's simple, but it has all the necessary elements for an optimized sales process. Okay, this moves me to my next point. And if you're not doing this and you're doing, 100,000, 150, 200, 300, even half a million, whatever a month, and you're not doing conversion rate optimization, meaning you're not split testing different principles, different conversion mechanisms, not just on the ad side, but on the back end, on your sales process, you're leaving a shit ton of money on the table. This is by far for a fact. And so what we're doing with this client is that we're introducing split tests. And so each week we do one, and it also depends on how much revenue you have bringing in. If you have like 100,000, you can't do like 5 split tests a week. You needed to give it 200 to 250 orders minimum to come up with a conclusion. So if that is the case, we're doing around one split test per week, and we've actually found different versions by changing, as you see over here, the title, the headline, the CTA, the topic of the advertorial, right? We've actually seen boost in conversion rate and boost in performance, which is by also a byproduct of us finding new winning concepts, a byproduct of us scaling more on the front end. So all these things really matter. And so one tool that I absolutely recommend for you to use is either Pagefly or Gem Pages for building pages. Very simple drag and drop tool. Just make sure that before you launch the page, you optimize its page speed. So go on Fiverr and pay somebody $50 to optimize that page, and it will be fully optimized, and it will load within like 1, 2, or maximum 3 seconds, which is the most that it should take for a page to upload. More than 3 seconds, you're doing bad. And so that's number one. And then another tool that I really recommend is called IntelliGems. IntelliGems is a CRO software that allows you to do price split testing, find winning variations, so do A/B testing on everything. So check it out, IntelliGems. This is the software that we use internally that it's we're very happy with. Another one that I recommend that is kind of like a mix of everything is Replo. It has some CRO things included. It's not like IntelliGems. IntelliGems is way more advanced, but I do recommend also Replo for building pages and doing a CRO, building a CRO foundation. So what am I doing here? Basically, this sheet allows us to track each individual test and then have a predicted version of what the conversion rate is, and then have the truth. So this was like 0.3% higher. This was a fail. This was 0.3% higher. And guess what? If you find, let's just say, even like 1 out of the 4 split tests or winners that you do every month, at the end of the year, you're going to have just a much stronger funnel, right? Even if it's like by a 25 or 20% increase in conversion rate, that's a 20% increase in revenue. Like that's what you need to understand, right? So this is super fundamental. Split test offers, split test titles, split test topics of advertorials, split test titles of how you name your products, titles of the advertorial itself. These are the things that I would focus on if I were you, if you're in this process of getting from 7 to 8 figures and you want to just grow and optimize your company. Okay, this is what we're doing for this client. Email marketing is a foundation that you absolutely need. You should be generating around 20 minimum to 30% of revenue on your email marketing. So as you can see over here, you should have a foundation of all pre and post purchase. So I'm not sure if you can see it over here, but yeah, you probably cannot. It's a bit blurry. But I also have a diagram. If you haven't checked it, just go on my channel and click on and type in email marketing. You'll see a full-fledged video, kind of like this one, where I just talk about flows, what you need to do with that, etc. And so what we're doing with this client is we're actually not managing email marketing ourselves. They have another partner, but they're sending around 3 to 4, sometimes even 5 emails per week that are super well segmented. So what you do is you have first of all, you need a good opt-in rate. You need a good offer. You can offer like a 10% discount up front. You can offer a free gift, access to an exclusive community. But the pop-up itself, which is basically what pops up on the website, should have an opt-in rate of at least 4, 5, 6, on the good side, 7%. Like we have some clients that are doing 7%. So 100 people hop on the website, 7 people give us their email, and then from those people they go into these pre-purchase and post-purchase flows, which is what you should be doing. Okay, so email marketing is super important, but if there's one nugget that we need to go after this, is that we need to do post-purchase, because that is how we will increase LTV. So there should be specific post-purchase flows and campaigns that are upselling people, downselling people, cross-selling people, and making sure that they spend more. Or if it's a consumable product, maybe sell them a subscription or something like that. Access to a community, or even if you don't sell a subscription product, you can also do and build communities, which is actually my next point, which I want to bring you is this is actually VIP programs. But my last point is building communities, which is super, super profitable and super convenient. But if there's one thing that you need to take over here, is segment your lists and send 2, 3, 4, if you can, segmented email campaigns every single week. If you have that volume and you're segmenting, meaning that you're only sending to people that actually care about your emails, that are not just bots, you're cleaning your list. There's softwares like that you can use, like Million Verifier, that basically is a software that cleans your list. You upload the CSV, it cleans, meaning it gets rid of unverified emails that don't exist anymore, bots, like non-real users, right? So that you can basically clean your list and only send to verified people that have a verified email. This alone will increase your open rates, your click-through rates, the entire thing, and it will increase your deliverability as well, because Google or Microsoft, whoever you're using, is seeing you as a good sender, meaning you're sending to real people and you're not spamming. Okay, so that is super, super important. Really, really important. Okay, next thing is building a VIP reward program. And by the way, all these things, I'm talking about all these things because these are all things that are directly going to increase and increase your LTV and optimize your sales process to get to that 8-figure mark. If there's we never had an 8-figure business, and I truly mean this, we've never had an 8-figure business that was just doing only one of these things. Every single 8-figure business that we've worked with and that we're working with right now is doing all of these things. Maybe they're not doing communities because it's something that not everybody does, and they should, because they're leaving a bunch of money on the table just from an engagement perspective that you can have potentially with your customers. But they're doing at least 80% of what I'm showing you over here. Okay. Next thing is building a VIP rewards program. If you can find a way where every single user that visits your websites refers on average another user, or every single purchaser, if one person purchases, out of 10 people, they refer 1 or 2 other people, that is alone kind of a snowball effect of new customers that comes from word of mouth, or in this case, if you want to be specific, with a rewards program, you can use that. And so you can use different apps and reward programs, kind of like this company that is doing, which is called Charlie Hustle. And they're very good at building this reward program. And so you can incentivize with gift cards, tokens, coupons, codes, free products. There's a bunch of ways that you can do this to incentivize new people to refer business to you. So they're basically affiliates, or we can call them referees. And this is a part of a VIP reward program. This is really important. If you look at every big brand, they have it because it compounds and it makes a difference. Okay. And also understand this part. If you're spending $100, $200, $1 million a month, don't we want to make and take as much advantage as possible as the people that we're promoting to? So might as well do this as well, so they can refer new business, right? So this is really, really important. If you're not doing this, do it. Next thing is my favorite topic, is building a community. For this specific client, they are in an industry that is information is key, kind of like supplements, right? If you're selling a supplement company and you're selling bottles and you're selling vitamins, you're doing maybe pre-workouts, you're in the information, in the info. It's not an info product, but you kind of are in the info product space automatically, because you're also selling a bunch of information. And these kind of people communities, they like ebooks, they read articles. They are people that, especially if they buy from you, they're people that love consuming information because it makes them feel better, it's the way who they are, or they want to read more before they buy from you. So having a way, and this is like Brotherhood is like I believe they sell like beard products or something like that. I forgot what they do, but they have 30,000 members in this group, and they do lives. They engage with people. People share their experiences with the product. There's even a better reward system, because if people build in community, if you build a community and it's a real community with high engagement, people are just going to talk about it. It's going to be like automatically, it's going to allow you to expand your rewards program. So building communities, what is the advantage? The community itself is the value. You can upsell and downsell and cross-sell people throughout each week by doing lives, by introducing products. You can give these people a VIP discount, so you can incentivize people to join the community by saying, we're going to give you weekly discounts or special VIP or monthly VIP codes, whatever you want. You can be very creative. And then obviously, as I said before, the community itself is going to be a value for them. If I am an iPhone lover, a tech lover, and I can speak to a bunch of 30,000 other tech lovers and I want their opinion about something, I can join this community, and the community itself is going to be valuable, okay? And then for my specific industry, since it's a more of like, once again, like an info product industry, we're also thinking of doing a free group, and then a hardcore knowledge-based group or course or community that is paid. We're thinking of doing that maybe on School, where we can basically start building subscription to the business itself, which adds predictability, it increases enterprise value, and I don't need to explain why that model is really profitable and it works very well. Okay, hopefully you got some value, but essentially this is what we want to do. We get traffic to the website, they join the community, and then we engage with them, we share value, we do VIP discounts, we do live sales, live engagement, and this is how we build a community, okay? And they are gonna do 80% of the job for you, because they will start engaging and commenting and talking to each other. And the only thing is that is required is like maybe 1 or 2 people just being behind the approvals, making sure that everything is being monitored, everything is safe, there's no fake people, everybody's respectful. That is, it's a community, it takes some work. But this is what I really highly advise you to do. This is kind of like building an email list, but on steroids, because building a Facebook group is way more engaging than building your email list. So once again, if you're looking to sell, this alone will add, will give you that extra lever or leverage, when it comes to buying and buying a business, buying your business, okay? That is it for this video. I hope you got some value. I did discuss multiple things. These were more high-level conversations, but hey, when we're getting from 7 to 8 figures, we need to have these types of conversations. Maybe you did know already about a couple of these things, maybe you didn't. Hopefully, I opened up a window in your brain where, you're gonna take action and you're gonna work towards building these foundations, which are really, really important. Okay, I hopefully you got some value from this video, and see you in the next one. Bye.